After a phenomenal sudden death victory last night, the New England Knockouts are back in town for Game 2 of their 6-game homestead. It's the Knockouts taking on the visiting Tri-City Valley Cats. Welcome back inside the Knockouts Broadcast Network, powered by Dean College. Brett Schaubs and Jacob Munch with you. It was a slugfest for the Knockouts yesterday. 3 home runs and 5 total runs across the dish for New England. And it was all led by the shining star, Luis Attiles.
Attiles in the second spot. Yesterday, for the second day in a row, he goes 3 for 3, including a home run, which was the first of back-to-back jacks in the first inning. He was the offensive engine. He reached all 5 times because he walked twice as well. And the Knockouts going to hope he continues that performance, and they're going to look for more good pitching after their arms did quite well yesterday, holding Tri-City to just 4 runs, only 3 of them earned in yesterday's series opener.
Let's take a look at the Knockouts starting pitcher today, Casey Bargo, who's coming off fresh from the IL. Casey Bargo, a 7.33 ERA on the season. So a little bit of a struggle so far to this campaign, but overall, some decent numbers through the back half of this year.
And they're not expecting great length for him to get his work in early. He's going to have to build back up, but that is okay.
First pitch is popped up over by left field. DiCercina moving over. He makes the catch. First pitch, and, well, DiCercina's got a sensational play to start things out. Let's start things out now with the Tri-City Valley Cats offense, as we were cut off after the first pitch. Jackson Hallmark leads things out. Then it's Javion second, Ryan Cash batting third, and then it's Kyle Novak batting spot. Ian Walters back 5th. Chris Burgess bats 6th. Dylan Broderick back in the 7th spot. Tyson Gingrich will bat in the 8 hole. And rounding things out is the newcomer, Elvis Peralta.
Very windy day here in Brockton. It's part of why DiCercina had such a good chance to get to that baseball. The wind's been blowing out towards left field. It just stayed in long enough for DiCercina to make the catch.
Next offer from Bargo in there for a ball, 1-1. Let's take a look at the Knockouts defense now. From left to right field, Jalen Garcia, Austin White, and in right field is Victor Castillo once again. From third to first base, Luis Attiles, J.R.D. Cercina, Jake Boone, and Ramon Jimenez. John Cristino, the all-star behind home plate. And on the bump, Casey Bargo. Austin White, the center fielder, was also recently named to the all-star squad. We'll get to that in just a little bit. The 2-1 from Bargo. Popped up, fishtailing into left center field. Austin White on the move, and he makes the catch on the run. Nice snag by White, and there are 2 away.
Good speed by White on that ball. It really was slicing away from White, but he has so much speed, able to glide under it for the catch.
2 easy outs here for Casey Bargo, and now it's up to Ryan Cash, the first baseman. Next offer in the zone for strike. Casey Bargo, half on the injured list. This is his first appearance since coming off the IL, activated and started in the same swoop. And so Bargo will look to have a decent outing to begin this contest. Expect a lot of arms today from New England. Bargo, the windup and delivery. 1-1, zipped up the middle, and that's a knock. So a 2-out base knock, the first one for Ryan Cash, and a runner on with 2 away.
That pitch middle for Cash to handle. Goes right back into center field with it. The plan for New England and Bargo is, again, just get his work in, whether it's an inning, 2 innings. They want him to come out of it feeling healthy and being able to build up his pitch count.
This one grounded sharply over to second, scooped in by Boone. Throw to first, and that's the side. 1 hit and 1 runner left stranded, but the New England Knockouts are able to get out of it cleanly. A solid frame for Casey Bargo as we hit the bottom of the first here on Flow Sports. Welcome back to the Knockouts Broadcast Network, powered by Dean College. Let's take a look at the starting lineup now for the New England Knockouts on offense. Leading things out will be Austin White, the center fielder, and then Luis Attilis, who went 3 for 3 with a homer yesterday, will bat second. John Cristino bats third. Jalen Garcia in the 4 spot. Brady West, the DH now, bats fifth. Then it's Jake Boone and Victor Castillo, 6 and 7. Batting eighth will be Ramon Jimenez, and rounding things out is J.R. DiSarcina. A correction on the scorecard. It is Casey Bargo on the mound today for New England. Neil Luscali was originally slated to start today if you go through the technical rotation, but he is pushed back with Bargo being activated today. A 2-0 count now to Austin White. He had a tough day at the dish yesterday. Did not record a hit in the at-bats that he produced. Now 2-1.
Knockouts facing right-hander John Vargas, spelled J-H-O-N.
Popped over to third, and there's a knock. Slides into left field. Austin White will take the turn, and, well, he shakes off the rust from yesterday, and he's aboard to start out the Knockouts day.
Good start for White. I like his approach of going the other way. And the Knockouts are hoping to have more success second time around against Vargas, meaning they faced him back on June 1st in Troy at Joseph Bruno Stadium, and he pitched a complete game shutout. He dominated the Knockouts in a 10-0 victory.
Attilis shows bunt, pulls back, and it's a ball. Here's a guy that has had a phenomenal last couple of games, Luis Attilis. The numbers do not speak for the confidence that Attilis has had at the plate. A 3 for 3 ball game yesterday. He had some confident at-bats in Evansville on Sunday. He shows bunt again, and it's fouled off and takes a funky hop to Chris Burgess. Time is called.
That does not feel good for Burgess. Knockouts trying to bunt more recently. We've been talking about it on some of the latest episodes of the City of Champions podcast for the Knockouts, about how small ball could be a way to keep the offense going. They're trying to do it here. This bunt got Burgess in a bad spot.
One and one here now for Attilis. Austin White, a generous lead over at first base. Infield shifted a little bit towards the left here for Tri-City, but not by much. A third bunt attempt, and Attilis got it down, but that one is fouled off again. 1-2.
That was a good pitch to bunt on a breaking ball that was a hanger right down the middle. Attilis just too far out in front of it.
We saw the Knockouts practicing bunt attempts in batting practice today, and it wasn't just one person, it was everybody trying to play it a little bit more small ball. Attilis swinging a miss for strike 3. Throw from Burgess is offline and into center. White will take advantage and head over to third. So now he is 90 feet away with one gone.
Well, Attilis doesn't move the runner over, but White does it himself and then gets help on the throwing error from Burgess. I'm going to be honest, Brett. I'm a little surprised that interference wasn't called on Attilis because he fell all the way across home plate into the other's batter's box. But evidently it didn't affect Burgess enough to get the call, and infield's coming in here for Tri-City.
Infield in early on here for the Cats. Here for Cristino. Belted a solo home run in this exact spot in yesterday's ball game, top of the first, or rather, bottom of the first inning. But after his home run, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. A golden sombrero for Cristino. Takes a breaking ball on the inside for a 1-1 count. And Jacob, he missed some key spots yesterday. There were multiple times where at least one runner was on base for the Knockouts, and he could not finish the job.
Runners left in scoring position was a big issue for both teams.
Chops this to third. It's straddling on the bag is White. Throw to first, and Walters got it done. So Austin White makes a smart decision, and he stays put with 2 gone now.
Unlucky for the Knockouts, but that's a good play by Walters. Cristino hit that pretty hard. But Walters able to lunge to his left, and because it was hit hard, didn't give White any chance.
So now the job goes back to Jalen Garcia. Had a sacrifice fly out in yesterday's contest. White a bigger lead at third now. First pitch to Garcia, and it's a strike.
We mentioned beforehand Casey Bargo probably limited today, just an inning or two. Well, Anderson Comas is warming up for the knockouts.
Comas has made a few starts in the rotation here for New England. Next offer, Garcia punches this deep into the right center gap. That's going to tail, and Hallmark will make the catch. Nice snag by Jackson Hallmark, and he's able to rob the knockouts of their opening run. We are scoreless after one complete here at Campanelli Stadium. Don't go away. More action after these messages on Flow Sports.
Breezy Wednesday evening here at Campanelli Stadium as Anderson Comas heads to the mound, taking over for Casey Bargo after his one inning of work. New England was able to pick up a big 5-4 victory last night. Their third here at home, where they were winning using the new rules here in the Frontier League, the winner-go-home system in the 11th inning, trusting Reeves Martin for the third time in these such frames, and to talk to manager Jared Edmondson about putting him into these types of situations. And he feels very confident putting any of his relievers in there. Shouted out Brennan Bell, who also threw 2 scoreless innings last night. 3-0 in these winner-take-all type games here at Campanelli Stadium. Hopefully don't have to go to 11 innings here tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ben, and he said it perfectly, and this is something that Jared Edmondson has talked about on numerous occasions. He's going to give the confidence and the leash to the guys that show out and that perform. And for last night's ball game, it was it was Brennan Bell, and it was the closer Reeves Martin. 2 solid arms that came in and shut the door on Tri-City. As we look back to the field, a little bit of confusion on who exactly is pitching.
Yep.
The technicality is Casey Bargo touched the rubber when he came out, so he has to pitch at least a batter here before they can use Anderson Comas.
And it was confusion right from the start, Brett, because Bargo wasn't sure if he should go out or not. Eventually he did go out, started getting ready on the mound, and then he started walking back towards the dugout, and Comas was walking towards the door in the bullpen. All in all, the communication not there. Good news for the knockouts is Bargo didn't throw many pitches in the first, so hopefully one extra batter, if that's all it is, isn't detrimental. I can't say I've seen that, though. Really an odd situation, because Comas did go out there, and he was on the mound as well.
He was ready to go.
But then they said, no.
So Bargo will have to start things off here against the 4-spot hitter for the Cats. Rather, 5-spot hitter, Ian Walters. And it's first pitch strike. Walters had a couple nice plays over at third base for Tri-City yesterday. Next offer from Bargo, a looping curve that just misses on the outside. 1-1.
Walters, one of 3 Valley Cats with a hitting streak of at least 7 games.
Your officials for today's ball game are as follows. Behind the plate is the crew chief, Nick Baroni. At first base, Gary Glover. And at third, Brandon Snyder. 2-1. On the outside, a hitter's countdown for Bargo.
Knockouts probably wanted the lefty Comas to face the lefty Walters here, but it hasn't worked out.
Walters will pop it up. Could be in range, over by left to the track, and Garcia will make the catch. 1 gone here for the knockouts.
Nice job by Garcia, even with the wind blowing out to left at times, although now it's blowing in from center, so you don't really know what it's going to be doing. And that's well done by Garcia, knowing where he was in the ballpark, right by both fences. And now, well, Bargo's going to stay in to face the righty.
So next offer from Casey Bargo, it's a called strike. And this is against Chris Burgess, who took the funky hop in the first. Burgess played at 10 out of the 11 innings yesterday. Fouls that one off, and a quick 0-2 count now. He was subbed out for a pinch runner heading into the 11th, and that was for Jeff Nickel, who's seen some time here at Campanelli. Jeff Nickel, the former New Britain B in the Futures League. The 0-2 windup and delivery. Breaking ball, that's fouled back. We'll try it again.
Both teams last night, Ben was touching on it a little bit. They each played the 10th inning kind of how you expect. Both teams were able to get that runner in from second, but nothing more came of it.
0-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. First strikeout on the day for Casey Bargo, and there are 2 away. And now Jared Edmondson is going to make the change. Looks like Comas is coming out.
91 miles per hour for Bargo to cap off his evening. So he gets 2 more batters than you might have initially thought, ending it with a strikeout. And now Comas will come in to face the lefty Broderick. Here's job well done by Casey Bargo.
So Bargo done for the day, 1 2/3 with a hit and a strikeout. Nicely done for the Pro 1 status arm. We go to Anderson Comas, the southpaw, who's making the strange appearance out of the dugouts. And we'll be right back after these messages on Flow Sports. 2 outs in the top of the second, and Anderson Comas is the new arm for the Knockouts, a 6.11 ERA on the season. And after making 2 starts in the rotation, he comes back out of the pen.
Bit of a bullpen day for the Knockouts. All hands on deck, including Comas.
Showing bunts was Dylan Broderick, and now a ball for the 7th-spot hitter. Broderick had what was originally the go-ahead run in yesterday's contest, but then the Knockouts were quickly able to tie it up. The 1-0 in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes from Comas.
Comas entering with a 6.11 earned run average. It's his 8th appearance and now his 5th outing out of the bullpen. 18 walks to 14 strikeouts for Comas. Opponents hitting .279.
Inside, nearly nailed Broderick there. 3 balls and no strikes for Comas.
Right now, the tall lefty has no command of his fastball.
Comas originally from Santo Domingo, located in the Dominican. And the dirt just barely there in ball 4. So 4-pitch walk for Comas.
I imagine everyone in the bullpen today is going to be on high alert. We've already seen it now with Comas. Basically, the only guy we know who won't throw today, Cronin, because he went 5 2/3 yesterday. Everyone else should be ready.
And a solid outing for Cronin in
Indeed,
that.
Yep. And that being said, you and I were just talking about this during the commercial break. Solid outing for Bargo as well. First appearance off the injured list. He looked good.
The thing with Bargo is that he attacked on
Yes.
every single batter. You saw in the beginning of the season the growth that he has produced. And as this one goes to the backstop, Cristino will chase off the wicked bounce. And it allows Broderick to advance on safely. But Bargo started out with dancing along the plate a little bit, tried to touch the corners a little too much, but really came fastball first and then used his breaking ball to the advantage. A strong day from the former number 1 overall pick.
Yep, didn't walk anyone, only 1 3-ball count. He really was throwing it in there, and his defenders were making the plays behind him.
1-1. Good frame from John Cristino. It's a 1-2 count now for Comas. Looks back to second. The deal. Try to go to the slider. Great block by Cristino, and now a 2-2 count.
If I'm Tyson Gingrich, I am now sitting fastball. Sit dead red here because Comas' breaking ball hasn't been close. One behind Gingrich to the screen. That one well in the dirt.
Comas comes to the set. Looks back to second again. A generous lead. Try to go to the breaking ball, but an early release. A full count now for Anderson Comas.
Let it rip. Throw that fastball right here.
The payoff. And there's a fastball, but dropped it dead. So ball 4. And there are runners on first and second. That'll prompt a mound visit here from the pitching coach, Dan Sauceville.
Action beginning again in the New England bullpen. Hopefully, Coach Sauceville maybe has noticed something mechanically with Comas because it's rare to see a pitcher be this erratic. Typically, it means that something in their windup and their delivery is not in sync.
after last night's game for the better part of 20 minutes about exactly what you just alluded to, his mechanics. And he is a wizard when it comes to analyzing each and every one of his arms. He comes in, he breaks them down from wind-up to delivery to stretch, I should say, to arm slot. I mean, everything. I mean, he is as detailed as they come by. And
that's what you want out of a pitching coach, someone who can notice small changes that maybe could make a difference.
Next man up here for the Cats, it's the 9-spot hitter Elvis Peralta. He came in to pinch hit in yesterday's ball game, just one at-bat, and now a 0-1 count to him.
He got that sacrifice down in the 10th inning. Paid off for Tri-City.
0-1. Flies this over to short. DeSarcina is there, and he'll leap to make the catch. 2 runners left stranded, and Comas is able to get out of the jam. Knockouts have some work to do on offense as we go to the bottom of the second here on Flow Sports. Brady West will lead out the frame for the New England Knockouts. It's West, Boone, and Castillo due up for New England. John Vargas back on the mound for the Cats, and he takes the first pitch on the outside, 1-0.
Vargas was a Valley Cat last year. He made 17 starts with Tri-City. Pitched to a 3.73 ERA.
West belts this into the left center field gap. Moving over, Javion Williams makes the catch. Another phenomenal catch on the run. This one for Williams. And he retires West to open up the bottom half.
And that ball took off on him late. A gust of wind blew it almost back over him. But he has the range and the arm length to be able to make that snag. That was a very good play by Williams getting over there in the gap.
One gone now for Jake Boone, who notched a hit yesterday. Slaps this over to third, and that's foul. 0-1 for Boone. It seems as though the swap with Achilles and Boone has worked out to the favor so far of this offense. Boone has certainly had some more confidence in the 6th spot as we get an abrupt timeout here. It looks like the bullpen gate was...
Someone was getting that foul ball, and they didn't want anything in the way.
Last time John Vargas faced the Knockouts, he threw a complete game shutout. A phenomenal day in Troy, New York for John Vargas. He now faces this same Knockouts roster, but on the road. 1-1 now for Jake Boone. Popped up. Over at third. Range and Walters is available, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Fly balls galore to start today's game. 6 flyouts. We've got a line out to center as well, line out to short. Very little is being hit on the ground against the pitching staff of the Knockouts and against John Vargas.
So now it's up to the newcomer, Victor Castillo, to keep things rolling in the second. Castillo had a solid outing yesterday as well, produced a double in his Knockouts debut. Once again, acquired via trade from the Gateway Grizzlies in exchange for a player to be named later. 0-1. Into the zone for strike 2.
It was very interesting. Jared Edmondson was explaining how that came about. They didn't really know about him. They saw him play against them, and they loved his approach.
0-2, slide up. Wickets of Walters, picks it up back foot, but it will not be in time. It looked like Walters caught that a funky way on the inside of his leg. Seems to be okay, but a base hit for Castillo.
Potential injuries on both ends of that play, but both guys seem okay. That ball came up on Walters in a flash. It got him what I thought was right near the midsection. And meanwhile, at the other end, Castillo was hustling so much, he lunged and tripped awkwardly over the front edge of first base.
The big thing about Campanelli Stadium is you can put some emphasis on the phrase hot corner. I mean, third base has just a little bit of a lump right by the indent where if the baseball catches it on a certain way, it'll pop up in a flash. We've seen a lot of guys try to play it off of that hop early on, especially at Tilly's. As now the athletic trainer Kevin Weber is going to check up on Castillo here. Looks like Castillo's okay.
It didn't look good live when he came across first base because he hit it, and when you don't land on the base as you expect, your leg can often bend in uncomfortable ways, and that's often what sends players contorting head over heels.
So Kevin Weber completes his inspection, and now it's back to Ramon Jimenez, who continues his triumphs in the 8th spot. Belted a first pitch solo shot into the night sky last night. That was back in the 7th inning. That put the knockouts back into the ball game at 3 apiece. Next on for 2 Jimenez, that one downstairs.
And Jared Edmondson was saying how important Jimenez's growth is mentally in terms of having to go through a long stretch where you don't succeed. How do you bounce back from that as a young player?
1-0 inside. 2-0 now for Jimenez. Played all 4 years of undergrad baseball at Boston College and then transferred to Central Connecticut State for his grad year. The 2-0. This one roped up the middle, and that one is past Gingrich for a knock. So the hitting streak continues for Jimenez, and 2 are on with 2 away.
Did you notice how short his follow-through was there? It was a compact swing. He wasn't trying to slug it out of the ballpark. Just get a base knock and keep the line moving.
So now up to J.R. DiCercina to keep the train rolling. Back-to-back singles for the knockouts. DiCercina struggled a little bit at the dish yesterday evening, but looking to bring back the confidence today. Had a very successful trip on the road, a 2-run homer on Sunday against Evansville. Vargas looks back and deals. Fouled back. That was right on line to us. 0-2 now to DiCercina.
JR is another player who's had some ups and downs this year. He started off the season hitting very well. It has been tougher for him as the season has gone along.
And he's rung up on 3 pitches. DiCercina goes down, and the knockouts leave 2 stranded in the second. We are through 2 complete innings, and we are still scoreless at the camp. More action after these messages on Flow Sports. Third arm in as many innings here for the knockouts. It's Trevor Annaball, the former SNU prospect for the knockouts, will take over. He'll take on the heart of the order with Hallmark, Williams, and Ryan Cash. It's the top half, but that has truly evolved into the heart of this lineup for manager Greg Taggart. Annaball whips and deals. Swing and a miss. Quick 0-2 hole now for Annaball.
Trevor's numbers, 6.75 ERA. This is appearance number 4.
Breaking ball, this one hit sharply to Achilles, and the hop will get him stranded. Tough play for Luis Achilles, and a runner on to open up the frame.
And that's what happens as a defender, especially an infielder, when you don't get the feet moving there. He had a couple options, either charge it, get it on the longer hop, move the feet back to get a longer hop. Instead, he just laid it with the glove on the short hop. It didn't work. And it's a E5 to get Hallmark aboard.
Shift moving in big time here against Javion Williams. First pitch zips in there for a strike.
We've also seen now both third basemen struggle with the play. You mentioned that lip earlier over there. Maybe that's playing a role.
0-1. Now 0-2. Annaball as sharp as a knife.
The thing I love most about Annaball entering today's game, 1 walk to 6 strikeouts. That means you are throwing strikes.
From the stretch, the 0-2. Zipped into the right center gap, and that's a knock. Hallmark will take the turn, and he's going to try to force it to 3. Relay from Austin White is offline. What a heads-up play by Jackson Hallmark, and there are 2 in scoring position.
Good hitting by Williams. Gets a Fastball there on 0-2. Anibal tried to elevate, but no, it was at the plate below the letters right there for him to hit. But that's poor fundamentals by Austin White out there in center field. By throwing it so it couldn't be cut off, it made it a piece of cake for Williams to keep going and take second. And just like that, Tri-City poised for a potential big inning now. And that's also really well done by Williams. He never stopped. He just kept going. He read it all the way.
So now Ryan Cash, who fires that into the concourse. Cash 1 for 1 with a single, recorded the first hit of the ball game against Casey Barco. Another arm warming up here for the knockouts. It looks like Heisel Barrow. This one blooped out into center, and that's a base hit. It scores Hallmark. Williams will score as well, and the Cats will take an early 2-0 lead thanks to Ryan Cash.
Breaking ball from Anibal there. Right there for Cash to drive. And he does well. Shooting it into center field, and White's throw had to go to second base there.
Runner on first showing bunt Novak, and he pulls it back. Anibal looking back to first again, the offer in there for strike.
When you have a bullpen day like the knockouts have today, it often requires everyone to be on top of their game. And sometimes guys aren't. That can really throw a wrench in the works.
Popped up in a straightaway center. Austin White available. He makes the catch. One gone for New England. Some loud outs here from Tri-City as they continue to mash home on Anibal. So now Ian Walters, 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. In their first strike. You figure how different this game would have been if Bargo maybe finished that extra third of an inning. It gives Comas a little bit extra time in the pen to warm up instead of taking that long toss. And that one inside, it did not clip Walters. It allows the lead runner Cash to advance on to second, and he's now in scoring position.
I get your point with wanting Bargo to finish out that inning, but sometimes you just have to make sure you take care of players, especially if you're worried about injuries. This situation reminds me a lot of one we saw in Major League Baseball over the weekend.
1-1, high chopper over to first on the scoop. Jimenez beautifully played, and he'll make the tag for the outs. Cash advances to third, and there are two away.
See, Jimenez moves his feet right there. Issue was it still ended up being a short hop for him. I think he got it in the palm of the glove, but hey, whatever works. And good job by Walters to move the runner over.
So 2 gone now for Anibal. He rocks and will now fire on to Burgess. Takes the first pitch at the letters. 0-1.
So what I was saying in Major League Baseball, of the New York Mets on Sunday, they had a young pitcher on an innings limit named Christian Scott. He threw 5 2/3 brilliant innings, and they took him out because he had reached 75 pitches with 2 outs in the 5th. They brought in a new reliever who promptly allowed, I believe it was 3, maybe 4 runs, all with 2 outs, and it cost them the game. And that was the discussion in the New York tabloids for the next day or two. How do you find that balance? Because in that case, and a little bit with Bargo as well, well, what's the difference between 75 pitches and 85 pitches if he faces one more batter to get through the inning?
One pitch can change everything. Fouled back, right off the top of the net. 2-2 for Anibal as he looks to get out.
Well, and one pitch can change anything, can change everything either for the team. Maybe you get one pitch out and you're through the inning, or maybe that's the one pitch that causes a re-aggravation of the injury.
2-2, left downstairs for Anibal, now a full count. On deck for the Cats is the 7-spot man, Dylan Broderick. The payoff pitch. Looping curve, and that got away from Cristino. Here comes Cash, and they will let him score. 3-0 Tri-City after a tough play from John Cristino.
Yes, that ball was in the dirt. I thought Christina would be able to have it, but no. Got past him, and Valley Cats keep adding on here against Annabelle in the third.
No mound visit from Dan Saucefield, so now it's up to Dylan Broderick, who walked on 4 pitches his last time around. The next offer, inside, nearly scraped Broderick there.
Annabelle was, I was assuming, would go 2 innings, maybe 3 innings for the knockouts. But this first inning has been problematic.
In there for a strike. The 1-1. Zipped in, smashed out to right field. Back on it is Castillo. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Victor Castillo lean into it. Nicely done, and he ends the side. Knockouts down 3-0, and they've got some work to do in the bottom half. We'll be right back after these messages on Flow Sports. First pitch in there for a strike against Austin White, who will lead out the side for New England. John Vargas back out there for the Cats. Looping curve, now an 0-2 hole. The clouds have quickly rolled in here to Campanelli Stadium. There was a big thunderstorm last night in the area, and we are expecting more rain in the latter part of tomorrow. But, boy, you didn't imagine clouds this thick and this early.
It got dark in a hurry.
And I think the officials are signaling for lights.
I see some of them on. Whether they're on to their maximum, I'm not really sure.
The next offer. This one smashed deep right field. Back on it, Broderick to the track, and the catch is made. And not enough gas for Austin White, and there's one gone.
No, but he gave it a good ride. It's now a couple balls today that have been hit very hard but haven't had the distance of yesterday. I feel like it's not playing as deep as it did last night. Runs a bunch of balls deep off the wall. White was bidding for his first home run there, but no luck.
Back to Luke, who struck out swinging to sacrifice the stolen bag. First pitch in there for a strike. Achilles from Boston, Massachusetts. Played with New England College for his undergrad years and then transferred to Lenore Ryan. Grounds this hard to third. Back pick by Walters. Throw in the hole, and he got it done. Nice play by Ian Walters for the second out.
Yeah, shuffled his feet, made the play smoothly. It's like baseman we've seen come through Campanelli Stadium this year. If they catch it cleanly, their throws are basically always true to first base. It's a long throw, and Walters made it accurately.
Grounded hard and early by Cristino for the first strike. Cristino's timing has been a little bit off in the last few at-bats, even with his ground out to Walters in the first. It just seemed like he was a little bit ahead on the inside part of the plate.
Late on the fastballs, early on the breaking balls were his issue most of his ABs yesterday.
Breaking ball, that one underneath Vargas, and that's a knock. Changes up the approach, lead swing, and a knock for John Cristino.
It's big from Cristino, but it worked well. Slamming it past Vargas into center field. Knockouts bats have been decent through the first 3 innings, but they have not been able to cash in.
Here's Jalen Garcia. So far 0 for 1 with a flyout. The deal. Poached on to short. Nice play by Gingrich. Gets those and just missed it. Tyson Gingrich took an awkward landing as well on the play. They are going to call time, but 2 knocks now for New England.
Boy, Gingrich, great job to reach that baseball, but he rolled over very awkwardly. Those arms are just kind of hanging there right now. It was right on the lip of the outfield grass. And sometimes that can bring with it a change in elevation. Yeah, he's pointing to his left shoulder. He's visited by the athletic trainer, Nicole Shimshak.
We saw something similar a few months ago, and I don't want to jinx it, but Trevor Story for the Red Sox made a almost identical play and dislocated his shoulder in the same effort.
Nope.
Luckily, Gingrich is okay, and he'll be cleared to play.
Well, that's what you fear on a play like that and on a dive like that, is that you put so much force on that glove shoulder that you pop something out of place. But at least for now, he'll stay in. He is due up first next inning. We'll see if it affects his swing and whether they decide to change things up.
Vargas comes to the set, looks back and deals. Goes to the outside. 1-0 on to Brady West. West so far 0 for 1, flew out in a phenomenal snag by Javion Williams to begin the second. Vargas on the left side, the deal. That one got away from Burgess. Both runners on the move, and they will advance cleanly. A sliding effort by Burgess as well. And both are in scoring position.
Yes, that breaking ball was low by Vargas, but it wasn't terribly low. I think Burgess just had to go off the tip of his glove, and then it ricocheted off the home plate umpire's right shin.
2-0 inside. Good weight from West. 3 balls and no strikes now.
It's a pretty good spot by John Vargas right there.
Vargas has allowed a .320 batting average against lefties this year. Called strike on the inside. Hitters count now.
And that's favorable for West to do some damage here.
The hitter's count offer. West watches it. Full count now.
I'm okay with West not swinging at that. That was 90 miles per hour down and away, and he's such a pull hitter. It's not his pitch in a hitter's count.
The deal. West late swing and popped it up. Vargas has also been indifferent with runners on. A .250 batting average allowed. Jake Boone on deck here for the knockouts. 2 gone, John Cristino, the lead runner. The payoff. Sent to the left, deep to the corner. Back on it, Williams to the wall. He leaps and he can't get it. It's gone for Brady West. A 3-run bomb, and New England makes it tied up.
What an unbelievable effort by Javion Williams. Doing his best Torrey Hunter impression in the 2013 ALCS. But like Hunter, Williams unable to come down with it. He seems okay. And boy, did the Knockouts offense need that. Brady West, clear the deck, 3-run opposite field home run. The Knockouts right back in this game, and finally, it only took them 2/3 innings, but finally they have scored against John Vargas.
So John allows a bases clearing bomb for Brady West. West goes yard for the 5th. And now it prompts Jake Boone, who will look to continue the trot here for New England. It was a strange ball. It looked like he wasn't going to have enough juice, and, well, it just caught past the wind and Javion Williams. And he was inches away from making that catch. Dust twirling here at Campanelli. Next offer to Boone. Poaches this into straightaway center. There is Hallmark. He makes the catch. Knockouts tie up the ball game in the 3rd. 6 combined runs in 1 inning alone. We go to the top half of the 4th here on Flow Sports.
Once an esteemed junior college, Dean College has risen to the ranks of a renowned institution, offering 4-year degrees and helping students reach for their dreams. With top-tier professors, first-class facilities, and big-time athletics. Ours is an education in 3D, with opportunities to seize, moments to share, and a family to guide and support you. We're Dean College, and there's nothing junior about us.
Well, it's a brand new ball game from Campanelli Stadium. 3-3 your score after 3. Trevor Annaball back to work, and good news for Valley Cat fans. Tyson Gingrich up to bat to lead off this 4th inning after taking a awkward tumble on his left shoulder in the bottom half of the 3rd just a moment ago. It's Gingrich, Peralta, and Hallmark 8-9-1 due up against Trevor Annaball, who's 1-0, goes all the way to the backstop through both the catcher Cristino and the home plate umpire. It's 2-0. Annaball works quickly and fires a 2-0. That's low as well. Now 3 balls and no strikes to the left-handed hitting shortstop, who is one of 6 lefties in this lineup today. They also have a switch hitter.
Thanks, Jacob. A strike in there now to Gingrich and a hitter's count. The good news is that Gingrich is okay, and that's the big thing. He came off the field limping as well. Hitter's count now a full count.
Yeah, his arm was dangling, it seemed, running off the field, but he seems fine now.
And called strike 3 for Annaball. 3 balls, well, come back with 3 strikes. Out number 1.
Breaking ball just drops into the top of the strike zone. Gingrich thought it was high, but it dropped right in there. And Annaball off to a better start this frame than the last inning.
Here's Elvis Peralta, waits on the first pitch and lets it drop down low. 1-0 here to Peralta. 0-for-1 with a line out to DiSarcina. Next pitch, a fastball. Chops this over in the hole to second. Diving effort by Boone. Throw on his Tookus, and he can't make the finish. A great offer from Jake Boone to keep it inside the grass, but there is one on.
That is now 3 fantastic attempts in the last half inning plus, none of which have resulted in outs. Great effort by Boone there. I'm surprised Ramon Jimenez didn't go after that baseball. It seemed like one he probably might have been able to reach.
It was more so in his territory than Boone. Breaking ball in there for a strike again for Trevor Annaball. He'll take on the top of the order once more with Jackson Hallmark. Annaball look back over to first base. Peralta on the move, breaking ball. Throw down from Cristino is late, and the sweeping tag from Boone is not in time. Scoring position is Peralta.
Very good jump by Elvis Peralta. He was able to tie him up. Annaball, who is so quick in between pitches, he has to make sure he gets out of that rhythm to affect the base runners.
0-2 now from Annaball. Popped up the other way, and of course it goes. We'll try it again. Javion Williams awaits on deck, the 0-2. This one hit sharply to second on the hop for Boone. Looks back, throws on, and he got it done. Sharp as nails over at second base, and he gets the second out.
Tricky play for Jake Boone. But, like you said, he got it done. That's not an easy one. Hit hard, top spin on it, so it almost explodes on the fielder once it gets to him. But Boone stuck right with it.
Next offer to Williams. 2-hopper to DiSarcina. Plays it off his torso. First infield continues to impress. Knockout strand, 1 runner, and they keep it tied up at 3 notches aside. We go to the bottom half right here on Flow Sports. Victor Castillo leads things out for the Knockouts. Hits this swimmingly over to second on the pick for the second baseman Peralta, and he gets out number 1 with just a single pitch.
Quick start for John Vargas, who's trying to bounce back. Giving up those 3 runs, all with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Got the first 2 outs in 5 pitches, and then single, wild pitch, home run, and just like that, Vargas had given up the lead.
Here's Ramon Jimenez, 1 for 1 with a single, as Jacob alluded to in his last at-bat. Looks like he switched up his mechanics a little bit, went from the more violent delivery to a little bit more compact now, and a striking finish. 0-1. Goes inside again, popped up in foul territory, moving over and making the catch will be Cash. Willie Mays style. 2 gone now.
Boy, that pitch sawed off Ramon Jimenez. Just absolutely jammed him inside, right on the handle. It's rare to see pop-ups like that to infielders that don't have a lot of height. But Cash didn't have to go too far, able to make the play.
J.R. DiCercina, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, was retired on the first 3 pitches he's seen today, called strike. 8 strikes for J.R. DiCercina. Austin White waits in the on-deck circle, the 0-1. Chopped on to third, but that'll trickle towards Chris Edmondson for a foul ball. 0-2 now.
J.R. on Sunday with 2 runs. Besides that, in now his last 10 games, it's been a tough go of it for him. And he has played every day. He leads the knockouts in games played. This is his 51st of 52.
Popped up, same exact spot as Jimenez. Crawling in a little bit shallower is Cash, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. A quick inning for John Vargas and Tri-City. We go to the top of the 5th after these short commercials on Flow Sports.
New pitcher for the knockouts. It's number 32, Heisel Barrow, who will enter the game for New England. Barrow, 5.26 ERA, team high 24th appearance. And the young righty fires a first pitch that's missed by Ryan Cash, who's batting left-handed now, 0-1. All of Cash's at-bats today have been lefty against right-handed pitchers. Takes the 0-1 high from Barrow. He's become more and more trusted as this season has gone along for Jared Edmondson. He seems to have found his role in this bullpen, Brett.
You're absolutely right, Jacob. And Barrow has slowly tweaked down that ERA as he's gone through this first third of the season. And with Jared Edmondson, the season is divided by thirds. And that first third is, he explained to me, you're going to find out who you've got in these guys. You know, you're going to find out their mechanics. You're going to understand what their approach is and how their composure is going to be on the mound. That second third is when they attack. You follow their strong suit and you let them do their thing. And by that final third of the season, you're going to find out who your best guys are to take you into that stretch towards the playoffs. And to put a cap on that story, it seems like Barrow is earning the trust to be one of those guys towards the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Goes inside on that curveball. A full count now for Heisel Barrow. The native of Bahia Honda in Cuba was a product of the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, reached as high as Rancho Cucamonga, their single-A affiliate. Barrow, an off-footed stance, comes to the set and delivers. Tried to go to the fastball, but missed on the release. Ball 4.
Barrow's control has been decent this season. That's just his 15th walk in 25 2/3 innings. He strikes out just below a batter per inning. And when you have a young guy who is throwing strikes, it fills you with a lot of optimism that he'll be able to settle in.
Inside pitch here for Barrow, and a called strike against the 4-spot hitter here for Tri-City, Kyle Novak. Novak so far 0 for 2 with a ground out and fly out to Austin White. Barrow comes to the set, and he closes in. Runner on the move. Pop up from Cristino. Throw down. Tag is late. A longer call there from third base umpire Brendan Snyder, and a runner in scoring position for the Cats.
Barrow has a high leg kick when he's not slide stepping to the plate. He brings that front leg not just up, but also in towards him a little bit.
And that's one of the weaknesses, too, of Barrow that we've pointed out in previous contests. He has a huge leg kick when he breaks. sent into left center field. Garcia is there. He makes the catch. Tag up attempt, and that one is nulled and void. As a good throwdown will be sent to Achilles.
And from what I can tell when you watch Barrow pitch, that leg kick is what enables his mechanics to be together. He's got connectivity between that front driving leg and his arm. They come through at the same time. The issue is it's pretty easy for guys to run against him because it makes him slower to the plate.
Same thing can be said for Anderson Comas. He's got a very similar windup to Barrow. And a called strike against Ian Walters. Walters so far in the ball game 0 for 2 as well. His last at bat, he grounded out to Jimenez. Barrow looks back to second base. And now another runner on the move. Pop-up Cristino, throw to third, and Achilles, a nice tag, but no good. Just a little bit late on the effort.
Boy, good thing Achilles picked that. That throw by Cristino looked like it might have been destined for left field. Achilles said no. But that's one of those where, again, you've got a high leg kick. You must vary up your times, vary up your looks towards the base runner as well. That way it's not easy for Cash to take another base.
0-2 count the offer as the infield creeps in. That one hammered but foul. We'll try it again.
This is one of those spots you'd love a strikeout or a pop-up on the infield.
Infield creeping in again for the knockouts. One gone. Ryan Cash is the lead runner at third. The deal on the inside. A good block from John Cristino. A 1-2 count now.
Brett, I don't think we've seen many of those slow 12-6 breaking balls from Barrow yet. He's been going with his harder breaking ball, his fastball. Haven't seen that curveball in the upper 60s.
1-2 fastball punched at, but just barely. We'll get out of the park. Barrow comes to the close and delivers. Inside, a good bid, but does not get Walters chasing. 2-2 now.
It's a good pitch, though. That is the slower breaking ball. That went all the way up at 74. Tried to back foot it. Walters didn't bite, though. He's putting forth a good at-bat.
The 2-2 offer. Breaking ball in the dirt. Once again, Walters staying patient. A full count now for Heisel Barrow. The payoff. Breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 3. Big out for Heisel Barrow and his first strikeout of the ball game.
Wow, Barrow triples up on that curveball. Threw it at 2-2, just missed for a ball. Threw it at 3. Yeah, then threw it at 3-2. And that time he got the swing and the miss. Goes 1-2 curveball, 2-2 curveball, 3-2 curveball, and finally got the chase.
Next offer. Inside, it gets away from Cristino. It will score Cash with ease, and Tri-City is up 4-3.
That's on Cristino there. Just didn't watch it all the way into the mitt. Ricochets right off his glove. As soon as it got past, you knew that was a run scorer. Hey, little mistakes. You get the walk, and then you get 2 stolen bases, and then a pass ball. That's, I guess, manufacturing a run.
Looping curve again from Heisel Barrow and a strike. 1-1 against Chris Burgess. The deal. Inside as Burgess waves it off. The 2-1. Looping curve as Burgess whiffs at that one. 2-2 now.
That was a big swing by Burgess. Ended on a knee. Looks like he was trying to go for home run number 5 on the season. Issue is you have to hit the baseball first.
Barrow the 2-2. This one waved at, but out of play.
So Barrow goes very slow curveball, then he goes fastball at 88. I'm impressed Burgess was still in front of that fastball anyway. Maybe he was sitting the heater.
The 2-2. Fastball trying to get Burgess chasing on the outside. Now a full count for Isel Barrow.
Dialed that up to 91 miles per hour.
Here's the payoff. Breaking ball, good bid, but it'll be a full count walk for the right-hander.
With the knockouts using as many pitchers today as they likely will, you want as much efficiency as possible. Walks in the inning, also a full count strikeout. There goes the runner.
Runner goes, pop up from Cristino. That one way high on DiSarcina. And another stolen bag for Tri-City.
Well, DiSarcina gets to show off his luscious locks because that throw was so high, had lost the hat. But I think Cristino's probably going out there to tell him, got to vary up your times. Do something different here. Burgess isn't a fast guy. He's a catcher. And that is his first stolen base of the year, and he had it easily.
The 0-1. Popped up and out of the park. 0-2 now in a hurry for Isel Barrow.
Last night, the story was teams not driving runners in. Teams left a combined 23 men on base. Today, a lot more RBIs on both sides.
1-2 now.
It's either a slider or a changeup that didn't do anything except balloon way outside. Good snag by Cristino.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Fastball blew him by. 2 strikeouts in the frame for Isel Barrow, and he's able to get out of it. We go to the bottom half of the 5th right here on Flow Sports. Austin White will lead out the side for New England. It's White, followed by Achilles and Cristino in the bottom half of the 5th. John Vargas returns to the bump for Tri-City as he tries to keep them at bay. Austin White, as consistent as anyone can be. Another single to left field, and he is 2 for 3 today.
Not wasting around. Good hitting by White. That's twice he's gone the other way on his base hits. He also went out to center field in between that. So White's been going the other way.
Luis Achilles steps in now. So far, 1-0 for 2 in the ball game. I beg your pardon. A strikeout and a ground out for Achilles. 1-0 the count now.
And I said a moment ago, White hit one to center in the 3rd inning. It was actually to right. That's a close pickoff. Austin White has the ability to hit to all fields for good contact. And we're seeing it today. Powerful to right, although it stayed in the ballpark, and then line drives to left.
0-1 to Achilles. Slams this down the left field line. Back to the wall. It's gone! Home runs in back-to-back games for Luis Achilles, and New England is back on top 5-4.
What a start to the homestand for Luis Achilles. Home run yesterday. was not retired in 5 plate appearances in last night's game and today. 2-run home run to give his team back the lead in the 5th inning. He jumps on that pitch. Launch angle of only 22 degrees, but short one left will help out.
Cristino smashes another one to third, and that's a base hit. Got underneath the glove of Walters, but it'll be ruled a knock here for New England.
Another hard hit ball. And I don't think the knockouts have taken more than one pitch. Been swinging at 3 of the first 4 offerings from Vargas.
Rather an error for Walters at third base, so it'll be an E5 against Ian Walters. First pitch in there for strike against Jalen Garcia. Garcia so far is 1 for 2 in the ball game. The deal goes around on a half hack there. An 0-2 offer incoming. The appeal sure's the deal.
Got fooled on a nice looking breaking ball by Vargas there. Knockouts have now had 7 of their 9 men in the lineup reach base. And it's only the 5th inning. Meanwhile, same thing for Tri-City. It's been a tough day for the pitching staffs.
This one smoked to third, lined catch by Walters, throw to first and not in time. Cristino nearly doubled up, but that is the first out of the frame.
Good recovery by Cristino. He took a step or two the wrong direction, but it was a long throw for Walters to make, and that gave Cristino enough time to get back. That's now 4 hard hit balls against John Vargas here in the 5th.
Here's Brady West, smashed to 3 for the third.
And once again, similar to last night, all the knockouts runs are coming via the long ball. This is a team that hadn't hit many home runs at Campanelli prior to this homestand.
Smoked on and caught by Vargas. Tries to go to second for 1, throw to first. Oh, and a bobble by Cash will miss the double play. John Vargas is beside himself. There are 2 gone, but a runner at first.
Great snag by Vargas. Solid feed to second. Gingrich did all right, and yeah, Cash just lost the handle over there at first. Not really sure what happened. The knockouts will take the extra life as Tri-City continues to make some defensive mistakes.
Two gone now for Jake Boone, who will step in and take a strike here against Vargas. Boone so far 0 for 2 in the ball game with a pair of baseballs put into play, a pop-up and then a flyout. Next offer. Fastball, that one zipped into the right center gap for a base hit. West will take the turn, and he's on his horse to third. Boone will try for second now. The relay is not in time. They did not get the back foot of Jake Boone, and both runners are in scoring position.
Good hitting by Boone. Once again, first pitch there. Ready to go. He just attacks. Second pitch, my apologies. But good hitting.
So the knockouts continue to rattle around John Vargas in this frame. And now the rotation goes to Victor Castillo. In 1 for 2 in the ball game so far with a single and then a ground out. Wind up and pitch from Vargas. Fastball, that one looped and out of play over the ice cream hut on the third base concourse.
Brand new ice cream hut. I got some pregame. It was pretty good. It's a nice addition to the ballpark.
Mini Melt's a new partner for the New England Knockouts and Brockton Rocks here at Campanelli Stadium. Interesting story how that thing even got to the concourse in the first place. 0-1 turns into 1-1 now. That Mini Melt's hut is 2,800 pounds. It is a behemoth. So to get it up on the concourse, an industrial crane had to be exported into Campanelli, and then they then lifted it up, hoisted it in the air, and, well, just plopped it into that corner. It was quite the visual art to see.
Sounds fun to watch. because that concourse is much higher than ground level at the driveway. So you got to go up almost over suite level height.
2-1. Breaking ball missed up high. As you grow up, you look at things differently. If you're a 5-year-old, you say, wow, a box in the air, that's awesome. And when you're 22 like us and you're a manager, you're like, oh man, I hope someone's not underneath that thing. 3-1, and that's a walk for Castillo. And now the bases are loaded for New England.
And Castillo impressed with his ABs. I have liked what he's brought to the knockout so far. Yeah, I wasn't too worried per se about the hut carried by the crane being too dangerous, although I guess technically it is. But it's a nice hut inside. They've got air conditioning in there.
Full thing, full 9 yards.
It's got glass around most of its sides, so you can see the ballpark great, but you're covered on top. Honestly, if I was working in here, that's the place I'd want to be in the ballpark, because you can watch the whole game. You got AC, but you're outside. It's nice.
Pitching coach Thornton out to have a chat here with John Vargas, just trying to get out of the inning here. The Tri-City bullpen has been activated here. The knockouts pen also beginning to warm up. The southpaw, Ben Seiler, is tossing around. It might be Kyle Petrie as well. We'll get a more accurate name for you in a second. Called strike here against Ramon Jimenez, who now steps into the dish, 0-1. It is, in fact, Petrie in the bullpen. Vargas winds in the 0-1. Goes to the fastball inside, and Jimenez will take it. 0-2 for Ramon Jimenez. Lead runner is Brady West over at third. The windup and the 0-2. Breaking ball, that one zipped. Could be trouble down the line for Cash, and he makes the snag again. Back-to-back putouts by Ryan Cash against Ramon Jimenez. That will end the side, and the knockouts leave the bases loaded. But they do take the lead thanks to a 2-run bomb from Luis Attiles. It's a 5-4 New England lead as we hit the top of the 6th on Flow Sports. Heisel Barrow now out for another inning for the knockouts. It's a pinch hit here for the Valley Cats. Robbie Merced will step in and take on Heisel Barrow.
Merced batting for Tyson Gingrich. He was the guy who fell on his shoulder earlier.
This one smoked. Left center field. Austin White back to the warning track. He'll make the catch. A loud first out for Robbie Merced.
It's fun to watch White play the outfield. He does so well running to his right into left center field.
So one gone for Elvis Peralta now, the man that replaced Merced yesterday. Merced was in the same exact 9 spot as Peralta tonight. First pitch in there for a strike for Barrow.
Both teams kept similar lineups as yesterday. New England, same exact starting 9 in terms of order and players. Tri-City, same starting 8, only difference, like you said, in the 9-hole.
Now 0-2 for Peralta. Barrow so far has only thrown 4 pitches. Could he get out of 2 out of the 3 outs in 5? Top of the order, Jackson Hallmark awaits on deck. Barrow to the set and delivers. Fires a fastball that just missed the spot. According to the technology, that looked like it may have been a strike on the inside.
Cristino didn't frame that for very long. Thought his pitcher made a good pitch.
1-2, just barely tapped that. That's a big difference between Cristino and West behind the plate. Brady West tends to hold on to his frame much longer to get the sell. Yep. Meanwhile, Cristino tries to show the confidence in his pitcher. If he believes that Barrow threw a strike, he'll leave it in that spot. The 1-2 in there. But a ball. 2-2 now.
Yeah, the two of them do have slightly different receiving styles at the backstop position.
The 2-2. Loop and curve, and Barrow's starting to fall behind in this count. A full deal now.
Well, this is where, okay, you think you made a good pitch 0-2, but you didn't get the call. Well, don't get frustrated by that. Just keep going back, pounding the strike zone.
Inside, a good sell that time for Cristino, and once again just missed on that lower part of the plate.
Cristino had to reach over a little bit across his body, and now he's having a conversation with the home plate ump. Because that pitch by Barrow did not miss by a lot. This might be Barrow's last inning. We've got a lefty, a switch hitter, and two more lefties coming up, and the lefty Kyle Petrie throwing.
Popped up and out of play. That one sent into the sweets by the first base. And Jackson Hallmark will start with an 0-1 count. Hallmark so far has reached base just once today on an error. He proceeded to score in that same frame. Pickoff attempt to Barrow and just a little behind.
Hallmark now 1 for 9 in the series. Just had one single yesterday.
In there, 4 strike 2. Quick hole here for Heisel Barrow.
Second straight batter, he's been ahead 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch. Smoked at into right field. Moving over Castillo to the line. He makes the catch, and there will be no double play opportunity. But there are 2 gone.
Hallmark late on a pitch right down the middle. And it hangs up long enough for Castillo. Again, that wind going out to left field gave him a better chance to catch that.
2 gone in the frame now for the 2-spot hitter, Javion Williams. Runner on the move. Pop-up Cristino. Throw down to second, and it's offline. Stolen back for Elvis Peralta, and he's in scoring position.
That's 2 stolen bases now for Peralta today.
So Peralta will look to tie this ball game here if Williams can put him in position. A 1 count with 2 outs here for Heisel Barrow. A look back and delivery now. Swing and a miss. Early hack out of Javion Williams.
Barrow's got 3 pitches at least, but each at a different speed. Really makes it tough to hit against.
The 0-2. Fastball, 1 hopper in the dirt, and a good block from John Cristino. A 1-2 count incoming. The wind still moving at a very high rate from east to west here. For the players, it's the exact opposite, west to east. The 1-2 count now for Barrow. Breaking ball that's popped up over at third. Achilles, an easy look. He makes the catch. The knockouts leave runners stranded once again. Tri-City down by 1 as New England has a chance for some insurance in the 6th. We'll be right back after these messages here on Flow Sports. DiSarcina leads out the frame for New England. They are still up 5-4 in the contest against John Vargas and the Cats. DiSarcina's had a tough day at the plate this far, 0 for 2 in the ball game. The 1-0. Popped up and out of play. DiSarcina, originally a Barnstable, Mass native. Swing and a miss, 1-2 now. The deal. Popped up. And that one is out of play. Just barely out of the reach of our camera operator, Joey Medeiros.
So DiSarcina will battle again on a 1-2 count. That left center field. Racing over his hallmark. He won't get it. It'll go towards the warning track. He cuts it off right in front of the wall, and J.R. DiSarcina, a 2-strike leadoff double as the lineup flips over to the top in Austin White. Good hitting for DiSarcina to start this 6th inning off with a promise. So now it's Austin White against Vargas. White 2 for 3 today. Singled in the first, singled in the 5th, and flew out deep to right in the 3rd. Third baseman Walters playing in on the grass, ready for a bunt. Same with the first baseman Cash. White does bunt, but he pulls it back. Did he? They'll appeal. Yes, he did not offer at it. Robbie Merced, who pinch hit last inning, he's now at shortstop for Tri-City. Tyson Gingrich out of the game. Big hole between third and short for White to go the other way. 1-0. He takes it for a strike. Inside corner from John Vargas. 1 strike. White squares again and takes it away 2-1. 5-4 the score in favor of the Knockouts, bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody out at Campanelli Stadium. Austin White today officially announced that he'll be going to the All-Star game in Quebec City next week. A roster replacement is White, a good honor for him nevertheless, and he gets the bunt third base side. It's down. Fielded by Walters, and no one's covering first. Austin White will get a single out of the deal. The Tri-City defense has not done their starting pitcher, John Vargas, any favors. It might have been tough to throw White out on that anyway. But the second baseman, Peralta, had a long way to go, didn't get there in time, and Cash came charging in from first and never retreated. And New England looking primed for a good opportunity. Runners on third and first. It's DiSarcina on third, White on first, and Attili's the hitter. He launched a 2-run home run just last inning to give New England the lead back. Line, base hit. Attili stays red hot. The eye single, and the Knockouts extend the lead at 6-4. White takes second, and Luis Attili continues to rake. So now it's Cristino as Attili's 5 for 7 in this series. Nobody out. Cristino takes the breaking ball just inside. And 1 ball and no strikes. Cristino, right-handed hitter versus the righty Vargas. The 1-0. It jammed him in on his hands. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Six to 4. Knockouts lead Tri-City. Nobody out, bottom of the 6th. White on second. Attili's on first. It's been 3 straight hits to begin the frame, and now Cristino gets plunked right in the ribs. A fastball from John Vargas. 89 hour, and Cristino had no chance to get out of the way. Cristino taking some time over at first base to get the wind back. That pitch smoked him. For Cristino, it's the 6th time he's been hit this year. Team leader is Jalen Garcia with 11, and he's the batter now with the bases loaded in the infield. Lined into left field, base hit. Runners had to hold up to make sure it got down. It does. Jalen Garcia keeps the line moving. A first pitch RBI single. The knockouts extend the lead, now 7-4 New England. Brady West now the batter against John Vargas as Tri-City continues to have action in their bullpen. They've got the righty Nick DiCarlo warming up. Infield will remain in with nobody out. From the windup, Vargas throws inside ball one. Over the first 5 hitters in this frame, 4 have hits. The other was plunked. That's Cristino, who's the runner on second. Vargas winds and delivers. West hits it hard into right field. Moving back is Broderick, but he's got room to make the catch in front of the warning track. Only Achilles will attack, but he'll score with the 8th knockout run in their 3rd run. Here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Now 8-4 New England. For Brady West, RBI number 4 on the day. And we'll have a mound visit from Chris Burgess, the catcher, as Jake Boone digs in. We've got Cristino on second, Jalen Garcia on first. And only 1 out, 8-4. The score in favor of the knockouts. And there's been so many base runners. First base coach Liam O'Sullivan is going to utilize the mound visit to bring everyone's gear over. Their batting gloves, their shin guards, their elbow guards. Right now, O'Sullivan looks like he's been at a yard sale. But for Vargas, he right now is just trying to get the Valley Cats through this inning. Yesterday's game went 10.5 innings. Tri-City, they used 3 relievers. Austin Dill went 2 innings, but Arlo Marinchek 1, Nathan Medrano 1. And with the off day the day before, you'd think Tri-City's bullpen is pretty rested. Second and first, here's Boone poking one first base side foul. About 4 rows back. And the count's 0-1 on Boone. Boone 1 for 3 today, popped out into foul territory, lined out to center, and doubled, entering today with that .231 batting average. Situations like these are why Jared Edmondson put Jake Boone down into the 6th hole. He wanted more RBI opportunities for number 8. The 0-1. Hammered foul. Boone getting out in front of a breaking ball and demolishing it. Well foul down the left field side. Now 0-2. Victor Castillo on deck. And Boone just gets a piece of the elevated fastball to stay alive as he spoils 86 upstairs from Vargas. 8-4 your score. Cristino on second. Jalen Garcia on first. 1 down. Boone takes that fastball high. Now 1-2. John Vargas had his best start of the season against the Knockouts little more than 5 weeks ago. June the 1st, a complete game shutout at home against New England. Second time around, much different story. That one's hit high in the air to left field. Back towards the wall is Williams. He will watch it go. 3-run home run for Jake Boone. And the Knockouts have exploded for 6 runs in the 6th. And they now lead it 11-4. The floodgates have opened for the Knockouts offense. They had a massive road trip, and they have come home and kept it going. Boone's 5th home run of the year give him 32 RBIs on the season, and that will put a rude finish to John Vargas's night. Greg Taggart takes the ball from his righty, and for the first time tonight, he goes to the bullpen. We will take a break with the Knockouts leading 11-4, 1 out in the 6th inning here on the Knockouts Broadcast Network, powered by Dean College.
Victor Castillo step in now with the bases clear for the New England Knockouts. Jacob Munch led your way through the absolute explosion of offensive touting from New England. They have put on 6 runs against the Cats defense here in the bottom of the 6th inning. John Vargas taken out of the ball game and put out of his misery. It is now Nick DiCarlo stepping in for Tri-City in an 11-4 ball game. 0-2 count against the next batter, Castillo.
DiCarlo new to the squad. Attended Felician University this spring at the D2 level. This is just his 4th game.
Inside on Castillo, 1-2 now.
He's had a good start, though, to his pro career. 3.86 ERA, meaning he's allowed just 2 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. 1 walk to 5 strikeouts. He has given up a lot of base hits, though. 10 hits in those 4 2/3 innings.
1-2 now. On deck is Ramon Jimenez. Here's the offer. Inside, 2-2 now. The windup and delivery. Chops at this one. Over to short. One hopper onto Merced. Fires onto first, and there is out number 2. Good start for DiCarlo.
Really a tough day at the office for John Vargas. The starting pitcher for Tri-City gives up 11 runs, all of them earned. 14 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk, including 5 hits here in this 6th inning.
So here's Ramon Jimenez, the 9th out of 9 batters to face off against Tri-City in this frame. 1-0 count here to Ramon Jimenez. So far, 1 for 3 in the ball game. His last 2 at-bats, he's popped up to Ryan Cash at first. A look in from DiCarlo, winds and deals. Hefty hack and a miss out of Jimenez. 1-1 now.
See, there's that big swing from Jimenez, which I'm okay with him taking that on a 1-0 count. That makes sense. I just think runners in scoring position going to that shorter swing when you're behind in the count is very effective.
1-1 in the dirt. 2-1 to count now.
That's always the balance hitters have. Do you try to be like an Austin White, who almost everything is just make contact, get a bunch of singles, line drives, or do you want to be like Brady West, trying to crush everything?
Pops it up and just barely scrapped at the netting up top. 2-2.
And then you get the ideal hitters who are doing a bit of both. There's a reason John Cristino's batting over 300, yet also is tied for the Frontier League in home runs. He can do both things well.
Curveball and a swing and a miss from Jimenez for strike 3. So Nick DiCarlo comes in and pitches a flawless 2/3 of an inning, but it comes at the expense of 6 runs for the Knockouts as they explode on the Valley Cats in the bottom half of the 6th. 11-4 your score after these messages here on Flow Sports.
I'm Jake Boone.
My name is Reeves Martin.
Hey, Knockouts fans, Brady West, catcher first baseman.
Hi, I'm center fielder Austin White.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Liam O'Sullivan.
I've had a couple host families in my time in baseball, and having a host family coming to new places that I've never been before, just having a host family creates stability and really makes you feel like part of a new community.
I remember when I was staying with like the Himmerts when I was playing in Southern Maryland. It was the first host family that I had that had like 2 young boys, and it was really cool for me to like see them idolize teammates and me every time I came home and just kind of bond with them over learning baseball. It was so pure to them that it kind of brings you back and humbles you as well.
I'm blessed to say that I've never had a bad host family in my life. Shout out Carla and Herb from the Lake Erie Crushers. They're a great family, and I've had other great families to help me through my times as a independent ball player.
Going to a new place that you've never been before can be stressful, and when you don't really know anyone in the area, just having that sense of home more than anything can allow you to feel like you become a little more ingrained in that new place.
Having a host family is a home away from home. It definitely helps us relax when we leave the field and helps us perform our best.
We would love if you guys would open your homes to us. It means a lot to us and allows us to be able to focus on what we're here to do, which is to play baseball, have fun, and make memories.
The skipper, Jared Edmondson, will go to his 5th arm of the contest as they continue a bullpen game here at Campanelli Stadium. Top half of the 7th. Thanks again for joining us on the Knockouts Broadcast Network, powered by Dean College. New England has soared to an impressive 11-4 lead over Tri-City in this one. They will go to Kyle Petrie, the southpaw for New England, former Petco's League hailer, and he will now step in for another appearance at home. The abundance of Petrie's appearances have been here at Campanelli Stadium. Next pitch, in there, but a ball. 1-0 here against the heart of the order, Ryan Cash. It's Cash, Novak, and then to Ian Walters.
It's nice for the Knockouts. They've got the 7-run lead, but they still have to piece together 3 more innings from the pen.
In there for a strike now for Petrie.
Game number 9 for Kyle Petrie. 7 walks to 4 Ks. Never a good sign.
1-1, now 2-1. Petrie, originally from Boca Raton, Florida, played for an abundance of schools throughout his NCAA eligibility. Last stop was with Georgia Gwinnett College. 2-1. And fouled out.
Where did you say he was originally from? You said in Florida?
Boca Raton.
Boca Raton?
Boca Raton. See, that just goes to show why I'm not a Floridian.
That's fair. New England are through and through. Clearly, no summer homes for you in Boca Raton.
On the outside. Full count now. You know,
And also it shows, by the way, that there's no spring training teams in Boca Raton either.
You know, you go through pronunciations every day for every single second, and the one that gets you is a city. Swing and a miss, and the Boca Raton native will put him away for the first out.
Good fastball by Petrie, just right by Cash for out number 1. Or it's always funny, the pronunciation guides is something that most people think is so obvious, they might not put the pronunciations because they just assume, and then kablooey.
So 1 gone here for the next man up, Kyle Novak. He's 0 for 3 today. Petrie starts off on a high note. Infield straddling the grass here for the Knockouts. First offer, that one out of the webs there for Cristino. 1-0.
It's been a few that have snuck through. Oh, that was a cross-up. That's what that was. That's why he's going out to talk with his lefty pitcher. Thought it was a little odd that it went almost right through Cristino's glove, but he wasn't ready for the fastball. You know, John Cristino is going to be an all-star. He'll be in Quebec City next weekend. I think it's about time either him or the team get him a Knockouts catcher's helmet. Brady West has one. It's a good look.
I think he's got the logo on the back. I can't tell.
It's the Towson.
Oh, good eye.
They've got the, ooh, wow. Nice play in the stands right there.
Cue the Sports Center music.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. We've got you covered.
1 here for Petrie. He comes to the set. And here's the next offer. 1-1 to Novak. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike.
They're the Towson Tigers, and that's what he's got on the back of his mask. He's also got, I believe, his collegiate number on the front of it. It says like 25 or something.
Cristino did play a short time at Kane County, so must have kept the Towson gear before moving over to New England.
Sometimes you find that gear, you find the glove, the helmet, the bat.
And it just sticks.
Yes.
3-1 fouled back. Now a full count as Petrie fights back.
Can feel like a match made in heaven. Well, some of them will use the same glove all year long.
My younger brother is a catcher, and I know for a fact it's religious for catchers to use the same mitt for years. They will not let go until the leather physically wears off the mitt. Payoff pitch incoming. Fastball competitive. He hit over to Achilles, twirls, throws on to first, and a good stretch by Jimenez to get the out. Nicely done by Luis Achilles, and they get out number 2.
Great play by Achilles. That was a hard one to handle. Hit hard on the backhand, spinning away from him. Goes to his backside to make the play, and Jimenez good stretch on the other side. Talk about those catcher's mitts. Think about how many thousands and thousands and thousands of pitches they have taken. Because not just in games, it's in warm-ups, it's in bullpen sessions before games. It's in if you have practices during the week. It's there. You've got guys constantly throwing sides. There's so much catching that catchers have to do.
The 0-1. Sharply hit into the net. 0-2 now for Kyle Petrie. Looking to get out of this inning in a heaping hurry. Ian Walters, the man at the plate right now, has not reached base as well. 0-2. Fastball and no bid to frame there for Cristino. The deal. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Is that strike 2? It is strike 2. I beg your pardon. 2-2 is the count.
The count wrong then.
Could have swore it was 1-2 there. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me today.
I thought it was 1-2 myself.
Petrie comes to the set in the 2-2. Breaking ball, that one's hit. Could be trouble for Tillies down the line, and that will escape the field. We'll try it again. Chris Burgess waits on deck here for the Cats. Petrie working quickly here. The 2-2 again. Missed upstairs. 3 for Kyle Petrie.
It's not a bad pitch. Fastball just a couple inches high and outside. Tempting, but not tempting enough.
The payoff pitch again. And in the dirt for ball 4. First base runner allowed by Petrie today, and it will draw Chris Burgess.
Gave an extra grunt there, but didn't help him find the zone. Good start to the for Petrie. Just want to keep doing what you're doing. Guys in the bullpen are stretching, twisting, using those plyo bands. Because, again, they all know to be ready in today's game.
Next offer, that one just misses for Petrie. So he'll slow down his tempo here against Burgess. Reached base on a walk his last time around. Looks back to first and deals. Inside, did he go around? And yes, he did, says Gary Glover.
Burgess isn't happy, but probably unhappy with himself as well, because he guessed wrong.
It's rather Snyder over at first base. Petrie comes to the set, looks over on a shallow lead, and the 1-1. Swing and a miss again. Petrie continuing to blow by hitters with his fastball. That one clocked in at just south of 87.5. Upstairs and away. 2-2 now for Petrie.
These 11 runs for the knockouts, now the most they've scored at Campanelli Stadium. They pushed across 10 back on May 25th against New York when they fell 11-10.
2-2. Inside, and he got him for strike 3. Good sell by John Cristino, and Kyle Petrie gets 2 strikeouts to end the side. New England keeps their 7-run lead as we go to the 7th inning stretch right here on Flow Sports. J.R. DiCersina will lead for the knockouts. DiCersina then the top of the order. Some defensive changes here for Tri-City. We'll get to them in a second as DiCersina will clip this in the left, and it falls in front of Roberto. Throw into second base is a little delayed, but it is a knock for DiCersina to open up the 7th.
Rough start for the new left fielder, Bradley Roberto. This is his first game with the team, and the very first pitch of him being in the game is a single to left. Then takes a high hop on him and enables DiCersina to go to second.
Rolled an E7 on Bradley Roberto. DiCarlo fires on to Austin White and a ball upstairs. The official changes for Tri-City. In left is Bradley Roberto, and behind the dish is Jeff Nickel. We explained this earlier as well. Robbie Merced is over at short for the Cats. Here's the pitch from DiCarlo again. Fouled back by White. It'll end up in the sweets. 1-1 now.
I feel like we've gotten an extra 30 kids in this ballpark in the last 30 minutes. All of a sudden, they've just spawned.
They have spawned is a great word. Fire in there and a strike. 1-2 now.
Like, I swear they were not. Maybe I haven't been paying close enough attention, or maybe they were at the ice.
Yeah, Mini Meltzot has gotten some attention over the last few games.
And maybe that explains why they're so energetic now. Get ice cream in the system.
A little sugar intake.
Yeah, exactly.
Parallel to the bag, DiSarcina, the 1-2. White watches it fly in between the wickets of Nickel, and no go down. So now a 2-2 count.
"15 hits for the Knockouts through 6+ innings. Right now, this stretch their offense is in is the best we've seen from them.
Chopped on in the hole towards short. Merced looks back, throws to first, and they got him in time. It advances DiSarcina, so a productive out for Austin White.
Indeed, almost had the speed to beat it out, but no luck. At least White's able to move the runner with a 7-run deficit. The shortstop Merced wasn't going to try to cut down DiSarcina at third.
Luis Attiles back up to the dish as he continues yet another impressive outing. 2 for 4 in the ballgame with 3 different RBIs. Infield is in for Tri-City. Once again, here's the offer from DiCarlo. Attiles will hold for strike 1. Campanelli faithful is quite energetic in the last couple of innings. An outing like this has not come in quite some time. From DiCarlo. Popped up and out of play. A quick 0-2 spot here for Attiles.
DiCarlo's got good stuff. Saw him freeze Jimenez on a breaking ball to end the last inning. Fastball's got good life, lower 90s. Been impressed so far with the young kid. Not to mention he's 6'6".
0-2 offer. This one chopped on over to first. That one gets through both and into right field. DiSarcina will score, and it's a 12-4 ball game off the bat of Luis Attiles.
When things are going right, very right. It's a ground ball. Yeah, it's a bit of a ways to go for both Cash, the first baseman, and Peralta, the second baseman. Neither of them able to come up with it cleanly. It wasn't hit that hard by Attiles, but the run scores nonetheless.
Goes down as a hit for Attiles, another RBI, 4 total in the ball game. Here is John Cristino, tries to hack at that one early and caught off guard on an 0-1 count.
And that means Attiles is now 6 for 8 in this series.
Cristino's reached base on 3 occasions today, but only one of them went down as a hit. He was hit by a pitch his last time around and an error back in the 5th. 0-2 now for Cristino.
It's good to see him still in the game after getting drilled the last time up.
Now 1-2. Or rather, strike 3, I beg your pardon, as Cristino goes down. 2 gone.
Breaking ball. Cristino pulled his head off of it just a little bit. It had enough downward action to get under his bat. Good pitch by DiCarlo, who's got his second strikeout.
First pitch in there for a ball against Jalen Garcia, who's also had a very strong outing for the Knockouts today. 2 hits and an RBI through 4 trips to the plate previously.
And his 2 outs were also hard hit line drives that found gloves.
Here's the 1-0 now. Fouled back. A look back by DiCarlo in the deal. Swing and a miss. That one got away from Nickel. No bid, though, from Attili's. They'll keep him at first.
I think if this was a tighter game, Attili's probably would have tried it. But up 8 runs, no reason to push it.
Plenty of insurance for the knockouts here, although there have been games this season where even the highest of insurance differentials has been tested. Knockouts were down 11-0 at one point and came back to tie it at 11 apiece. 1-2. Waved at by Garcia and out of play.
Yeah, leads have been a fickle thing at points for the knockouts. But hey, credit to their bullpen day so far. 5 arms, only allowed 4 hits through 7 innings. Still a ways to go, but impressive so far.
The deal. Popped up by Garcia. Trudging in a deep left field to the wall. Is it over? And it's gone! Jalen Garcia sends one into the deepest part of the ballpark. A 2-run blast to make it 14-4.
Bats don't stop for New England. Jalen Garcia, 7th home run of the year. 2nd on the team. He crushed that a long way. Like you said, Brett, it is far out there. 412 feet is the estimated distance. The knockouts have 14 runs, 17 hits.
Smacked at by West and out of play. So he'll start on an 0-1 count.
Those 17 hits, now the most in a game in franchise history. The previous high was 16, which they got just 6 days ago in Gateway.
The deal on the outside. 1-1 now.
And they've now tied for most runs in a game with 14. Last time they did that, well, this past weekend against Evansville. This offense got rolling on the road trip.
2-1 now.
It's what, the 4th home run of this game for New England after 3 yesterday?
It is, in fact, the 4th home run out of play. We've seen home runs by 4 different batters today. It got started by West's 3-run bomb. Then it was followed up by the bomb by Luis Attili's, the 2-run shot. Then it was Jake Boone, the 3-run blast. And then, at long last, Jalen Garcia's 2-run homer. The 2-2 to West now. Waves at that, and once again a little behind. You've noticed that West's timing has changed a little bit. He's become more patient on the baseball, and even with the foul balls, he's just pushing everything to the opposite side.
It looks like he's trying to become less pull happy.
2-2 pitch. Goes on a 3/4 hack, drop third strike, and that ends the side. Brady West is retired, but a 2-run bomb by Jalen Garcia puts the knockouts up by double digits going into the 8th inning. We'll be right back after these short messages on Flow Sports.
L'an dernier, il l'avait fait. Et à chaque fois, il fait un fou de lui à essayer d'être le smartass sur le terrain.
Oh! Mais là, Ozek va être retiré quand même. Mais cette balle-là a longé la ligne du premier coussin, a donné contre le premier.
Quel match!
Et revient être capté par le lanceur Cooper qui va compléter le retrait.
First pitch. Hard hit. On the to the seat of his pants, Triana, can he make the throw? He can. How about that? Falls back on the ball. That's a nice little play right there.
On a vu des équipes l'abandonner cette saison rapidement. Balle est frappée par Gideon en jeu. Et encore une fois, le jeu en défensive qui en est tout un. On a tout à l'heure, on a critiqué la défensive Isaacson, mais là, il vient de faire...
The runner to get over to third. That one's grounded softly third base side. Barehand play from Fuentes is in time to first, but a run comes in. A phenomenal play from Brian Fuentes.
Capitals. Ottawa also on a stretch. Boone dives and makes a phenomenal catch, and they'll double him up at first. Jake Boone, right where he left things off. And there's a double play to open up the ball game.
Pena tonight. 1-2. Rolled over, it's grounded left side. Sliding stop is made by a right. He'll flip it the short way to second, and they'll force out Orozco to end the inning. Highlight real defensive play by A.J. Wright.
Pas que les Capitals avaient déjà mis le choke.
La balle est frappée au centre du terrain. C'est capté. Un très beau jeu. Et là, Garcia a vraiment, là...
Oh.
Il a attendu. Puis son jeu, c'est correct. Le Garcia est épinglé au marbre là-dessus. Donc, Lacroix est au premier et Osick au deuxième. Le jeu de Garcia, lorsqu'elle a...
Second and third, doubled in the fifth, blocked in the sixth, as now he'll loop the 0-2 to shallow right. Long run for Brown, he dives and makes the catch. With a Superman dive, Steve Brown robs some history away from A.J. Wright.
5-1. First pitch to Chayka is swung on, popped up, down by the right field side in foul territory near the Wild Things bullpen, and crashing into the wall is Phillips. Did he hold on? But it's an out.
The 1-2. Taylor swings, hits it on the ground softly. Parks coming home. The throw is late. Bryson Parks scores, and the Jackals win. On a soft ground ball to shortstop, the throw was late, and they're mobbing Trent Taylor down the first base line.
Knockouts carry a 10-run advantage coming into the top of the eighth inning, 6 outs away from a series victory, back-to-back series victories here for the Knockouts. Well, earlier today we got the news that Austin White has been named to the All-Star game as a manager selection. White, who leads the club with 25 steals and a .292 average, really talked about his ability to stay on the field as a reason that he's been able to contribute so much to the Knockouts this season. He's been playing 49 out of 51 of the Knockouts games, which already eclipses his amount playing for New Jersey last season. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Thanks, Ben. And we've seen this time and time again. Austin White has been so consistent for the New England Knockouts. He hasn't had, the biggest power or the league leading, category, but he has been the guy that's been able to slot in every day for Jared Edmondson and been, as he describes, a stallion on this roster.
Absolutely. He has, in a way, become the focal point. He's always out there in center field, always right at the top of the lineup, setting the tone for this team.
New arm for the Knockouts, seeing him once again here in action. It's Dan Goggin, the right-hander, the former New York Mets farmhand. He'll take on the bottom half of this order, Broderick, Merced, and Peralta. Chopped on, and that will be foul. Weird hop for Broderick, now 1-2 for Goggin.
Knockouts also with a defensive change. They've put in Danny Crossan at first base.
An interesting play as well, because Crossan didn't play much first base at Northeastern. So you have the insurance, and Jared Edmondson begins to experiment. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Goggin goes down. Broderick not too happy after that one. He has a couple choice words to home plate umpire Nick Barone.
Might have been some self-anger there as well. Could not win that at bat, Broderick. Meanwhile, Ben talking about Austin White's 25 steals on the season. 4th most in the league entering tonight. Just 7 off the lead. crazy enough is New Jersey far and away leads the Frontier League in stolen bases, yet they don't have anyone in the top 4. However, they do have guys at 5, 6, and 7. Jackals are doing it by committee on the base paths.
Popped up and out of play.
Speaking of the New Jersey Jackals, they are trying to close out a victory at home against Florence. It's 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th in New Jersey. Jackals got a 1-run win against the Yawls last night, trying to do it again tonight and win the series.
Hefty hack and a miss there. 1-2 now, but the Jackals have had their struggles as well this season, even though their pitching has been very strong. Yui Sako was just named to the All-Star team as well for the East Division, but much like the Knockouts, the New Jersey offense has definitely been in the lackluster part of things. 1-2, just missed at the letters. 2-2 now.
Yeah, Jackals, 1 game behind the Knockouts in the standings entering tonight. 15-36. Knockouts, they're 1 game behind Sussex County, the bottom 3 in the East.
2-2 waved at, and Merced fouls it off. Sussex County has also been on a big skid as of late. They've lost their last 4 games. And there's a large gap as well between Tri-City and Sussex County.
Tri-City's 5th, Sussex County's 6th, and they're 10.5 games apart.
The big thing about the East Division is it is such top-loaded. You have Quebec, New York, all within a game of each other, and then Trois-Rivières, who slide back 3.5 from first place. The 2-2 now. On the outside, Goggin overthrew it at that one.
I think part of the reason the East has so many successful teams is because, especially early in the year, I think they beat up on the cellar dwellers in the East with the 3 teams that really struggled to get off to good starts. Well, the East was taking advantage of them, the top of the division.
Downstairs for ball 4, Merced will take advantage on the walk, and there's a runner on with 1 gone. But that's a good point as well. The East took on a bunch of interdivisional contests in the month of June. We didn't really see West versus East play until the back half of last month, where, for example, the Knockouts took on Joliet. Washington traveled up to Quebec. I mean, there was a few different mixed play situations, but at the end of the day, you end up with the massive gap in the middle of the standings.
The interesting thing is you look at the top 2 teams right now, Quebec and New York. Ottawa's right there as well, but Quebec and New York, they haven't had good stretches recently. Capitals, they're 5-5 in their last 10. New York's just 3-7. They've come back down to earth after a raging hot start.
Peyton Isaacson and company have been sensational for the Boulders. Their offense has been top 5 in the league. Meanwhile, in the West Division, it's on top for Washington and Lake Erie. They are just a game apart of each other. The deal popped up and out of play. Windy City started off strong, but quickly slid to the bottom of the standings.
And you know who else has slid is Schaumburg. They were tops of the league, got off out of the gate so well, and just kind of off. They were at the very front of the division. You can even go June 13th. They were best. Now they've dropped all the way to 4th. That time they've gone 9-15. That'll hurt after getting off to such a good start.
Goggin takes a look back to Merced at first. He'll now throw over. Good block by Crossan.
Out there in the West, it appears to be a 2-team race for the 3rd playoff spot. Lake Erie and Washington seem to be sitting pretty atop the division. And then Gateway, they're in 3rd right now, but Schaumburg's just half a game back. And then it's a large gap until Joliet, who sits 6.5 games out of the 3rd playoff spot.
The 2-2 now. Inside, a good bid, but Goggin couldn't finish the job, just clipping the outside corner.
Real good look. Very good look.
The deal. Chopped on to short. This could be a double play. DiCersina by himself. Throw to first. And there it is. A 6-6-3. And J.R. DiCersina finishes it off cleanly. Knockouts leave the runners hanging once again. And Dan Goggin escapes cleanly. We go to the bottom half of the sports. Bottom of the 8th, and Jake Boone will lead things out here for the knockouts. It's Boone, accompanied by Castillo and the new man, Danny Crossan, for the knockouts.
Nick DeCarlo, a bump. Greg Taggart's just going to use him to finish out this game, not burn any other relief arms.
Popped up and out of play. 1-1 for Jake Boone. He has had a sensational day at the plate, 2 for 4. With a total of 3 RBIs. DeCarlo works in and deals. 1-1 fouled back. 1-2 now. The knockouts had just 10 hits against Trois-Rivières last weekend, or a week and a half ago now. It seems like it's been forever, but in this series, in just 2 games, they have over double. Hit sharply onto third. Great play by Walters. Throw to first. He got it done. Ian Walters, what a bid. And the Cats get the first out.
Great play by Walters. Wowee. Exploding to his right to make that snag and then the throw right on the money.
1 gone for Victor Castillo now. 1 hit in 4 previous trips. He also has walked. Here's the offer. Castillo takes it for a ball.
So Jared Edmondson was telling me pregame that he really was impressed with Castillo's approach at the plate for such a young player last week when they played him and he was on the Grizzlies. And basically he caught his eye, and there's another hit.
This one in the left field, and that drops down. This will trickle to the wall. Castillo's going to try for second. Relay from the corner is not there, and Victor Castillo is 2 for 4 tonight.
Back-to-back 2 for 4 nights as a knockout for Victor Castillo. And that's what I'm talking about. Jared Edmondson just loved the way he was using the whole fields with Gateway and everything like that. He also was super impressed by the fact that at college, most recently at New Orleans, Castillo had more walks than strikeouts. He's been a very good player through the first 2 games with New England.
Danny Crossan will pinch hit now for the knockouts in his debut a few short weeks ago. Had 2 RBIs, both on a sacrifice.
He was the king of the sacrifice fly for a day.
Coming to the set and the delivery. Sent into left field, and that will drop for a base hit. Chris Edmondson will wave home Castillo. The relay is not in time, and it's an RBI once again for Danny Crossan. The knockouts lead by 11.
"12 unanswered runs for New England. Since the bottom of the 5th inning, Crossan comes through with the single. This game has turned into all New England.
So a runner on first with 1 gone now for DeCarlo. Here's the pitch for DiCersina, and it's in there for a strike.
A little surprised we haven't seen the knockouts given at bat to Noah Lucier. Batting for DiCersina could make sense. He's gotten a ton of ABs recently.
0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now. The 0-2 pitch on the outside. 1-2 now. Nobody holding on Crossan at first base. Tri-City has gone into full defense mode. The offer. DiCersina sends it into the netting.
Valley Cats came in with a 9-game winning streak into Campanelli Stadium. They lose a heartbreaker in sudden death 11 innings yesterday. And tonight they're getting smoked 15-4. This is not the quick 3-game road trip they were hoping for before they go back home on Friday.
The 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2 now for DeCersina.
They'll take on the New Jersey Jackals beginning Friday. Meanwhile, the Knockouts will be home. They'll host Trois Rivières again. And TR, they had their game postponed tonight against Ottawa. Rain hitting the region.
Yeah, the rain creeping in from the northern part of the continent, now trickling down in New England. It should be expected into the area soon, into left field, and that makes 3 straight. So Bradley Roberto, and the Knockouts continue to muster some offense here.
20 hits. 20 hits for the Knockouts now. It's interesting. You looked at the pitching matchup prior to this game, and knowing the Knockouts were going bullpen mode, there could be a fear that they would get knocked around, but it's been quite the opposite. Knockouts pitchers have all been great, and John Vargas and now Nick DiCarlo have not.
White watches the first one in there. Two hits on the day now for J.R. DeCersina. Make that 3 hits now, I beg your pardon. Popped up and out of play. 1-1 for Austin White, who in total today has gone 3 for 5. He has had 3 singles on the evening. The 1-1 in there for a strike. 1-2 now against White. Parallel to the bag is Crossan, the lead runner of the deal. Popped up. Could be trouble again in left. Merced tries to make the catch, and it snips his mitts. Over to third is Crossan, and the bases are loaded.
Great bid by Robbie Merced. And because there was only 1 out, the runners had to hold up. After he missed it, if he just lets his left fielder Roberto field that, they'd probably have a chance at third on Crossan. But it didn't work out for him as Merced then knocked it away again.
A single there for Austin White. He's now got himself a 4 for 6 ball game. And now steps in for Luis Attiles, the next offer. Watches the first one fly for a strike. Nobody is warming up for Tri-City at all. This is DiCarlo's game to finish. The 0-1. Wave and a miss, 0-2 now. Attiles 3 for 5, still an impressive feat in the day. Looking to make it 4 for 6 as well. He'll call time here.
Now this is a massive day for the stat book. They're going to have this game all over their record books, the Knockouts offense. Individually and as a team, because everyone has performed.
The 0-2 pitch. Wave and a miss for Attiles for strike 3. Out number 2 here for DiCarlo. And Attiles looks like he'll finish 3 for 6.
Fastball away. Attiles couldn't reach it. Needed a slightly longer bat. A couple inches off the plate. As DiCarlo's close to finally getting out of this nightmarish ball game.
John Cristino will step in now. Cristino struck out in his last at-bat. First pitch he sees, chases upstairs for a strike.
It's again, quite a few times these 2 games here at home, he's been behind on the fastball. Again, still has a hit, couple of runs tonight.
If you take away Jimenez, who was subbed out in the 8th, Cristino is the only knockout to have at least a hit That one into left, and that nulls my point. Scoring, crossing, DiCersina scores. It's a 2 RBI single for John Cristino, and it is now a lot to a little in favor of New England.
Well, Cristino adds to the RBI train. I am stunned Chris Edmondson sent the second runner, DiCersina, home. But hey, knockouts keep tacking on. This inning can't end soon enough for DiCarlo.
So Jalen Garcia will step back in, fresh off his 2-run homer. This one smoked out into right. Popped up for Cash, could be trouble to the line. Makes the scooping play to end the side. That is now 2 times that Ryan Cash has made a Willie Mays effort out in right. We go to the top half of the 9th. The Knockouts up 17-4. We'll be right back after these messages on Flow Sports. Top of the 9th as the Knockouts look to close things out here. Top of the order is also due up for the Cats. Dan Goggin will take over on the bump for New England for his second inning of work. 17-4 ball game in favor of New England. A phenomenal day on offense. A blistering 22 hits against the Tri-City Valley Cats. And we have witnessed a showcase here on the Knockouts Broadcast Network, powered by Dean College. Brett Schaafs, of course, joined by Jacob Munch. Slapped that towards short. DiCersina on his horse, going back, and he can't make the play. It is a shallow hit for Jackson Hallmark, and just the 5th one of the ball game for Tri-City.
Goggin made the pitch he wanted. He got it a weak pop-up from Hallmark, but it was hit too weakly. No chance for anyone to get there. DiCersina was the closest, but he did not have a shot.
So now batting will be Bradley Roberto. He'll take over here for Javion Williams.
Knockouts not even bothering to hold Hallmark on. He really is insignificant to them at this point.
The windup and 1-0 in there for a strike. 1-1 now. The deal. In there. 2-1.
I do want to give, even though it might not be appropriate, some kudos to the Tri-City pitchers. They've gotten shelled. They only walked 1, so they were throwing strikes, which is the bare minimum Greg Taggart can ask for.
I was just about to say, that's all you can ask. What a play by Goggin. Throw to second for 1, throw to first. If that doesn't explain the night Tri-City's having, I don't know what will. A great play by Goggin, and there are 2 gone.
A ripped shot. Great snag by Goggin. Calmly set his feet, made a good throw to second base where DiCersina was waiting. And in the blink of an eye, knockouts and out away.
New England 1 out away, as Jacob mentioned, for winning this ball game. It's now up to the 3-hole hitter, Ryan Cash. He's had himself a decent ball game. 2 hits on 4 previous appearances. Walked. Starts out with an 0-1 deal. One and one now.
Assuming this victory for the Knockouts does stand and they get this final out without somehow allowing 13 runs, this will be their first victory on a Wednesday. They were 0-8 on Hump Day this season before tonight.
Popped over to second in a line catch. The Knockouts take the victory on a final score of 17-4 at Campanelli Stadium. What a win for New England. They clinched the series victory against Tri-City, and as Jacob mentioned, their first win on a Wednesday night.
Boy, it feels good for the Knockouts to take the first 2 games of a series at home. They have only done that one other time when they swept Sussex County, and what a comprehensive victory. There were a lot of offensive heroes. I'll let you cover those, but I want to highlight they went basically full bullpen day, and everyone was very good. Casey was excellent in his first appearance off the injured list, Anderson Comas was able to get his out. Annabelle gave up 3 runs, but only one of them was earned. Heisel Barrow, Kyle Petrie, and Dan Goggin finished the rest with 5 hits, using a total of 6 pitchers. I was real impressed with the bullpen today for the knockouts. And Brett, the offense was just spectacular.
I mean, when you put up 22 hits on a bullpen game, that says something about the confidence coming into today. Jared Edmondson continuously about how his guys are finding ways to put it in the. Well, they have pretty much touched every part of the baseball field today. The win is going to go to Heisel. England. Barrow will collect the victory for the knockouts. Meanwhile, John Vargas will take the loss for the Tri-City Valley Cats. And, of course, with such a big victory, no save in the scenario. Final score here at Campanelli Stadium. Knockouts win by a blistering 17-4 score as they clinch the series victory over Tri-City. 4 different home runs on the occasion as well for the knockouts. Blasts by Achilles, West, Boone, and Garcia in the ball game. And Brady West will finish with 4 RBIs. Same thing for Luis Achilles. That's going to do it for all of us here on the Knockouts Broadcast Network, powered by Dean College. For all of our hardworking men and women here on the broadcast, and for my colleague Jacob Munch, this is Brett Schaub saying so long, and we will see you tomorrow night.